Okay, next game. Now, the reason this is interesting is this is the same game. The same thing happens, right? And when I asked Zoidberg what he thought, he said as long as it's the same deviled egg, that's fine. On Futurama, they're emptying out the contents of his stomach because they're doing an alien autopsy. And they're like, one deviled egg, and they put it in a tin, and then he eats it again. Well, and then then the guy says, the same deviled egg, because he kicks out of his stomach.
Yeah.
The same deviled egg. Yeah. Okay. So they play a Carol Khan. Now, according to the gawking rabble, Magnus thought forever here. Now, Fedoseev plays c5, c6, and e5. But he plays c6 a lot. So Magnus didn't prepare because he's white and he already won the first game. He literally didn't care. I don't know. Okay, so he played the advanced variation. And then he played c4 because it's...
Explicit.
Yeah. What's funny is in this position, every move is theory. You can't find a move that's not theory here. And this is one of them. Right. And then Magnus took his queen and Fedoseev resigned. So I don't understand queen d8. I guess if I play a3, you have to take the knight. Because the queen is going to be attacked otherwise. I guess he doesn't want to give up his dark squared bishop. I guess that makes sense. All right, now I understand it. I mean, basically nothing happens and white's winning. Like, white starts attacking and black's like, I wish I was as good as Magnus. Yeah. I mean, white's strategically winning already. Black has to go back to the opening. And like, Magnus doesn't really know what to do against the Carol Khan necessarily. All Fedoseev does is play the Carol Khan. And Magnus is like winning on move 10. He just like blows his opponent away. Black, look at that, king f8. You know, you've never been so mad. Yeah. There's a lot of great tactics in this game. See? It's the same game as the last one. Black can't move. Black doesn't move the whole game. Yeah. Bishop a2 is nice because that stops, you know, losing a tempo. The bishop is safe here. Here it's hanging. So that's great. Now, Karen, without looking at the engine stuff, why didn't Fedoseev go here, forking the knight and queen? C'est pas facile. C'est difficile. Oui? I really shouldn't speak French because it's a Carol Khan.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
To be fair, MVL gets destroyed by everybody in the Night Orf, which is funny.
Okay, so what am I missing? What tactic?
Looks good for black, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's what you're missing.
Right.
See this bishop really far over here?
I was looking at
Okay,
that.
so the queen goes here, it's mate. You agree? Yeah, so the queen can go to f4 or f3. You can't take the knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see? Somehow those guys saw that. So bishop takes. Queen there. Bishop goes back where it belongs. I mean, black just can't move. It's like the first game. Except white didn't sacrifice the exchange. Pause. Yet. By the way, Magnus sacks all of his pieces this game. I mean, and he could have won easier.
Exciting.
Yeah. Okay, bishop d2. Now watch. If you take this, then I go here. And this is very important that you think like that. Like, the king and queen are lined up, and the guy played c5 blocking the diagonal. So if he goes here, the diagonal's open. So bishop d2, because when the guys want to do that. Okay, put it in f. Look at this. I've never been so angry. And the thing is, Fedoseev is a really active, attacking, crazy player. But Magnus just pushes him off the board. Okay. Bishop c3.
Have they played a whole lot
No.
in general?
No, they may have never played. Yeah. Okay, put it in f, right? This looks like when you're black and things aren't going well, right? You've had these kinds of positions in the French where the guy's all over you and you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
Right? But usually Fedoseev isn't in that situation. Okay, so he's like, whatever. I don't care if you win the exchange. So in this position, this looks like a big threat, right? And Magnus, literally doesn't care. Takes that. So if you take the rook, which is also possible, right? just playing a boring move wins. Okay? And remember, he's sacking the exchange, right? And that's the rook black has. How is that helping black? However, the minor pieces for white, okay? Now that's minor pieces, right? That's good. And then my rook is actually doing something. The engine says white's +4 here. In fact, the engine sacrifices the exchange here. You can't play pawn takes because, so forth. Okay, so he plays knight f5. So Magnus is down a pawn. d5, god damn. So he's threatening this, you agree. And the bishop's defending this, and the pawn's defending the bishop. So, god damn. So you got to stop that. So he, okay. Then he stopped the pawn from moving. It's like the last game. Like, black could have played check, so Magnus is like, nope. You can't move. Okay, see, king G. This is like the last game. It's very similar. God damn. Okay, b3, rook d7, queen here. Okay, that's a blunder. The only move is bishop g4. Okay? And then after rook f4, his game's terrible. He played here, and now Magnus sacks the exchange. Brilliant. And it's the same reason as the last game. Black can't move. Now, if I was black, okay, which I could be, because black's getting crushed. So I could have black here. I would play queen takes queen, which he did not play. That's what I would play, because if the queen's off, it's getting crushed over here. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then the engine says like every move wins, but like white's just winning by even if it's not his move, because black has no counterplay. One of the moves is king here, so there's no discovered check. One of the moves is here, so there's no discovered check. One's here attacking the rook. The point is, if you have black, what do you do here? Like make 4 or 5 moves in a row. You can't play g6 because I go take, e6, eventually winning. 2 connected passed pawns. You can't play f6 for the same reason. You can't if you play king h7 to get your rook out. Here comes bishop d3, and you gotta watch it. So just king h2 is good, bishop here is good. Doesn't matter. That's what I would do if I was black. Because he didn't do it, Magnus sacked all his pieces. So that was good. Rook f1. Attacks the queen. The queen has to go there because there's nowhere to go. Man, this is the same as the other game. Black's up in exchange and he can't move. Ridiculous. a6, he moved. And Magnus played rook f7, which is totally unnecessary. But the top players, they play whatever move they think is correct. Some top players don't do that because it's obviously winning for white. So if I was white, I probably wouldn't do that because I wouldn't, if I'm wrong, I'm losing a winning position. If I was white, I would think this is like this, b5 is coming, so I'd probably move my king to h2 or h1. That's probably what I would do. And white's winning, black can't move. But this is winning, and actually he didn't win the best way. He actually won the second best way. Okay, so here he made a really, 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 really bad move, Fedoseev. He took with the king, and he was not punished. Taking with the rook is correct. I mean, it's still losing, but yeah. Okay, then queen takes, threatening the rook. There's only one move that defends it. Queen f8. You can't play queen d7 because the rook's pinned. So I take it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So queen f8's forced, obviously and frankly. Okay, now every move wins. This is the funniest move that wins. You must admit that's the funniest. The engine prefers this. I'd play the funniest move because it's funny. And once again, black is up a rook and an exchange. He has 2 rooks for a bishop. And he's dead lost because he can't move. You got to move in chess. Can't move. This is hanging. This is double pinned. Here comes e6. That can't move. What's going on here? If you play here, saving your bishop, the engine move, I go here. I mean, you can't move. Now you're threatening this because the queen's pinned. So, I don't know, resigns. Okay, the engine resigns for black. All right. So he took with the king, and now he missed a much easier win than he played because it was more complicated. He played like the simple way. Okay, this is like plus 1,000, and he played like a plus 4 move. Okay, so bishop takes. There's 2 legal moves. They're both plus 20. It doesn't matter what he does. It transposes because if you go here, I go here and check, and if you play king f8, I do the same thing. So it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same position. Okay. King here, and then you take this. And if you take, it looks like black's okay. But this attacks the queen. And if the queen moves, this is mate. How do you stop your queen and the mate? Okay, queen e8. That's it. Okay. And then e7 check. You can't play king g8 because your queen's hanging with check. So you have to give your queen away. Then you have to give your rook away. So Magnus would have won immediately if he had done that. But instead, he played queen takes, so he won more slowly, which is funnier. So it was good he did that. Yeah. Yeah, look at him always repeating. I wonder who would teach that. Let me think about it. Always sack the exchange, always repeat. C4 is explosive. I don't know. I wonder where Magnus is getting his chess lessons from. Okay, he repeated 1,000,000 times. People thought maybe it was a 3-time repetition because he got him good. Then he's like, all right, enough Mr. Nice Guy. Right? Okay, now, what scene in what movie was the best when the guy said, all right, no more Mr. Nice Guy? Man, when he said no more Mr. Nice Guy, then he wasn't kidding. He ended up being killed, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is Karen?
Yeah, I don't know the movie.
Go, Spencer. Come on, Spencer. No
Hey,
more
Spencer.
Mr. Nice Guy. Drives like a steakhouse and handles like a bistro. That's a really good Futurama reference.
Hey, what day are we on? Hey, Spencer, do you want to go eat with us?
Yeah, we're going to have dinner later, Spencer. Come eat with us at Cheesecake Factory.
You know, soonish.
Man, you guys are all the worst. I hate everybody in the chat because they don't know the answer to my, esoteric questions. Okay, I'm going to tell you the scene. Then it's going to scroll like, oh my God, that was great. Ready? Okay. True Romance, when James Gandolfini is fighting the lead woman, she's one of the sisters. There's like 2 famous sisters. In the hotel room, and they're fighting, and then he goes, okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy, already not being nice. And then she says like, oh no. Then they really fight. And then at the end, she gets the better of him because she sets him on fire and shoots him and hits him in the head with a lamp. But then when she does that, then Christian Slater breaks in with a gun, but she's already killed him. So, and then the director's cut is worse. There's a director's cut of that movie where he gets beaten up even worse. Yeah. Oh my God, that was great. He might be kidding because I said, but yeah. Yeah, they're just kidding, but it was. I mean, that was great. Yeah. I mean, you guys are kidding because you haven't seen the movie, but if you have, you wouldn't be kidding. You'd be like, wait, that was great. He was right. Have you guys seen the scene I'm talking about? There's a director's cut of that scene. It's a really violent scene.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens is they stole his cocaine, and he's the henchman. James Gandolfini, not famous yet. James Gandolfini. And when she goes back to the hotel, he's sitting there waiting for her. And he has like a monster shotgun. And she's like dressed like really nice, like a pretty woman. And she closes the door and she says, oh, hello, how are you doing? She's pretending like, and then she says, oh, my husband will be back in a second. He was at football practice. He's a football player. And then James Gandolfini goes, where is he and where's our Coke? And then the Coke's under the bed. And he says, snow at the end of the rainbow. Because this is the end of his, yeah. And then it's like time to kill her. And man, he does a good job until she gets the jump on him. He gave her a chance. He even said, I'm giving you a chance. Okay. Instead of killing her, she had a corkscrew. And he's like, all right. And he like takes his shirt off. And then she does this and hits him in his foot. It goes through his foot. Then he gets really mad. Yeah. Then it's really violent after that. Yeah. True Romance. Yeah. I think they say a swear in it. That you got the right clip. Who is James Gandolfini? Should I ban him?
No. Hey, is that Maruka?
It's got to be.
Is that the Maruka that I know? Mm-hmm. If it is, hey, the band should be up.
If you haven't seen True Romance,
come back.
You have to see True Romance. Like, I'm not even kidding. Have you seen True Romance?
No.
That's the maddest I've ever been. True Romance has every actor in it. You can't name an actor that wasn't in that movie. You can't. Yeah. You can try. Yeah. How come you guys don't know how good True Romance is? Is something wrong with you guys? Did you get dropped on your head as a kid?
I'm busy.
God. Terrible. Yeah, Tarantino acknowledges everything he does is from other movies. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It probably was before you were born. Go look up True Romance on the internet and look at the cast and then be like, what? How can the cast have every great actor who ever lived? And then you're like, wow. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Gary Oldman, Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken, Samuel L. Jackson, James Gandolfini, Christian Slater, Brad Pitt, Val Kilmer. These are the bad actors. I'm getting to the good ones, right? Balky, the guy who played Balky.
Yeah.
Michael Rappaport. I mean, most people incorrectly think Brad Pitt is just cute. Brad Pitt playing Floyd, who's going to play Floyd better than that? Nobody, that's who. All he does is lay on the couch and smoke bowls. That's all he does. He does nothing else. And he's like, hey, you guys, yeah, he's great. Yeah. Half the cast is dead? Yeah. Yeah, awesome movie. Val Kilmer plays Elvis, confusing the audience. Now, one thing you didn't know is Jack Black was in that movie and his scene was cut. It was his first movie. He was supposed to be the ticket taker when the guy saw the triple feature of the 3 martial arts movies. But they cut his scene, so he wasn't in it. Who played Alabama Whirly? All right, for $1 trillion. Mm-hmm. What does Alabama Whirly taste like?
I don't know.
It's $1 trillion, you can guess.
What is Alabama
She's a person.
Oh.
What she tastes like?
Strawberries.
Ooh, that's really good. It's not right, but you're very close. That was good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure they know in the... What, they don't know in the chat? What's going on here? How do you guys not know in the chat? There's 1,700 of you. Yeah, Patricia Arquette's the actress. Mm-hmm. I can't believe you guys don't know. I've never been so mad. I mean, even Peaches is sort of wrong. She tastes like a peach. Mm. So anyway, he tells his dad she tastes like a peach. Then later, she kisses his dad before they go away. And they leave and he goes, man, she does taste like a peach. Dennis Hopper. Yeah. The scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken, I can't quote any of it because we'll be banned from Twitch. But watch that scene. Sometimes when I'm hanging out with Aviv, we just turn that on YouTube, that scene, because it's the greatest scene ever. And some of it was ad-libbed. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, you guys are all terrible. Yeah. It's not your eggplant, you're an eggplant. Yeah. We're married 4 years and about 7 months. Something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was terrible before you guys were born. Yeah, now tell me, am I lying? Yeah. That's the end of Dennis Hopper. Mm. Yeah. All right. Queen F6 trading queens. All right? Now you have to realize something. You guys are like, Magnus is the world champion. Magnus is always winning. Magnus is always squeezing his opponent. That's all true, but in this game, Magnus sacked all of his pieces. Magnus is down a rook and the exchange. The last time 2 super-ish GMs were playing where somebody was down the rook in an exchange was the game Yasser Seirawan, Judith Polgar, Ningbo 2011 World Team Championship. And Judah didn't sacrifice a rook in an exchange. She was just down a rook in an exchange. She just was down a lot of material. That's the material imbalance you don't see in Grandmaster play because the Grandmaster has already resigned before that happens. Yeah. All right. Okay. So he tries to trade queens. And Magnus is like, that's fine. Okay. Now when he trades queens, now his rook is more trapped. Now you see these 3 pawns, right? And they're in the fountain blue.
The fountain blue?
Yeah. The 3 pawns. All right, the coins.
All right.
Terrible. Okay, so you see how you see what's happening here? Do you see how these can't move?
Yes.
So he's down in exchange now, so that's good. But he can't move. Okay, the engine says this is the best move. That's when you know the truth hurts. And he played it. He was Grandmaster, right? Okay, bishop e6. It's funny because black can't move. It's 2 games in a row where he can't move. By the way, this rook has made a lot of moves, and it'll make the same number of moves later. Okay, so he tries to get his rook out. And what's wrong with trying?
That's the first step.
2.
Failure.
Yep. Magnus ignores it. And he says, oh, you want to play rook h5? Ish don't think so. This was recommended by the German team. You like the way he tried to get his rook out, and then Magnus played here? Man, mean. I mean, he can't move. I've never been so angry. Yeah, Magnus moving on up to the queen's side. I've never seen 2 games look so similar with the same opponents. Now, Karen will give you a shocking news here. You want to hear shocking news? You're going to give it to them. The engine evaluation is not plus anything. What's the engine evaluation?
It's hard to say. Mate in...
It's mate.
12.
Now, does it look like there's a mate here? No, it's black can't move. So it knows that white's going to go here, 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 and it already sees the mate because black can't move. I never saw Fedoseev can't move, and it's twice in a row. It can't move. If you put it in H, and I take with the pawn, your rook still can't get out. So that doesn't really help. You like that plan?
He can't move.
But
hey, we're going to take all the he can't move. We'll make like a rap sound.
But look at this. Look at this plan, right? Nigel would be proud. Wrong side of the board. Yeah, I never saw it. Like the guy's 2,700, and 5 days ago, Fedoseev hadn't lost a game in this tournament. Then he ran into Karyakin, and then he ran into Fedoseev himself. Then he ran into Carlsen. Now, you know who ran into Carlsen and Karyakin and lived to tell? Foghorn Leghorn's favorite player.
Duda?
Yeah. He beat them both. Duda. Yeah, Fedoseev did not beat them both. It's funny, Fedoseev didn't lose a game. Then he played Karyakin and Carlsen, and he lost 3 out of 4 with a draw. Competition's getting a little better. Then you gotta watch it. And by the way, this happened to me my whole life. I'm in Michigan because that's where I was brought up. I beat everybody every game, right? So now they mistakenly think I'm good. Then I go to the World Open or whatever, some big tournament. And when I come back, they're like, how did you do? And I'm like, I got 6 out of 9. And they're like, what? Why didn't you get 9 out of 9? You always beat all of us. And this isn't just me. This is anybody. Anybody who's good where they live, when they leave and they're not good, the people at home don't understand why they're not good anymore. Like when I moved to Belgium, the best player was Luc Winans. He was the best player in Belgium for like 10 years. However, if Luc went to a Grandmaster tournament in another country, he's random. So he's getting 4.5 out of 9. And when he's in Belgium, he's getting 9 out of 9 because everybody's terrible. So the people at home are confused. Like, wait, why didn't you win every game like you do here? Well, And this happens in academia, right? Holden's the greatest genius who ever lived, but when he goes to MIT, then he's probably slightly above average, maybe. Slightly?
Yeah, I think that's probably
slightly, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then if he goes to get a math PhD at Stanford, he's probably average, maybe. Now, Matt Larson, who I've been espousing as a genius for like the last 12 years, He got his bachelor's at Yale at math. Now he's at Stanford getting a PhD. And his advisor is world famous. His name's June, like the month, and then Ha, like John Mellencamp, H-U-H. He's a very famous math professor. That's his advisor. His advisor is going to Princeton to chill, like residing scholar. So Matt's following him. So Matt is still a student at Stanford, but he'll be at Princeton. Now, in a rich tapestry, John Urschel, who you know from chess and math and football, he today defended his PhD at MIT. And then in 3 weeks, he's going to Princeton, probably for a postdoc for a year. And then he's going back to MIT to be a professor. That's already happening. And so he's going to play chess with Matt Larson. I hooked them up. Me and John Urschel like that, son. Yeah. Anyway, those are some smart motherfuckers.